Da-na-na-na-na. Thunder. Da-na-na-na. Thunder. Thundertaker, Nick. It's a Chicago Beer Pass beer review. I don't know, fresh, barrel aged.
It's Deepwood season. It feels like Deepwood season never really ended. I think we got a month. It's like a real off season. You get 2 months off, and then we're back at it for like the whole calendar year, man. September is when it starts. It's running clean through March.
Right, and then with COVID, schedules got changed, pushed back. Every sport is overlapping. Every beer release is overlapping. So yeah, we got a brand new thing.
When all else fails, man, you can count on the Revolution.
Fist up.
Yeah, so this is a debut to the Deepwood series. Mm-hmm. It might be the premier barrel program in the city right now.
Whoa.
It might be. I mean, come on.
Goose might fight. I feel like we need like a Jets and Sharks thing. Come out for Goose and Rev here.
Yeah. You make me. When I was a kid, I was an usher at the Shakespeare Theater, and they did a version of that.
Oh, nice.
I forget the name. West Side Story. Yeah.
Oh no, that's Grease.
No, West Side Story is the Jets and the Sharks, ain't it? That's West Side Story.
I thought that's Grease.
Then what's West Side Story?
Oh, I don't know. Am I right?
We'll figure it out by the end of this, man. Okay.
Yeah, as we drink more, we'll figure out stuff.
Thundertaker is an Imperial Rye Stout. Rev's known for the use of rye in a way that other breweries locally are not using it, right?
Right.
Rye Way to Heaven, VSOR, right? Uh-huh. They're really having fun with this rye, and this is a rye Imperial Stout. Now the Cafe D series is in an oatmeal stout.
Okay.
So I don't know if it were an Imperial Rye oatmeal stout, they would just say that. So this is probably just an Imperial Rye Stout.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's aged in Blanton's barrels.
Yeah, we got the Blantons Gold here. Can you guys see this? All right.
So we got, Nick brought the Blanton's Gold. We were talking about this a little bit on the episode, but you were saying Blanton's let's take a drink of this beer, and then we'll talk about it. So I kind of really want to try this.
Yeah, Blanton's Buffalo Trace, Bourbon County ages in some Buffalo Trace, a mix of Buffalo Trace, Heaven Hill, and Wild Turkey barrels.
Ooh, this smells like kind of sweet. Not like berry sweet. But like maple syrup.
Baker's chocolate, a little bit of fudge. That's what.
Oh yeah, like I took a taste, and it's the body is really light, way lighter than I would have thought on this. Almost like, I want to say like a mocha, like that thinness of a mocha, but not the taste. It's almost like coffee with chocolate. But not a mocha, like, I don't know.
No, you're right. Like, coffee with like a little bit of chocolate syrup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not like mocha milk heavy kind of thing, because it's just like coffee with chocolate.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, coffee and chocolate.
Yeah. But there's no like that coffee bitterness. Man, that's light and fun.
That's the thing that's a win on this right away is like, if you were to get some of these other stouts, the body would be super fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Almost viscous, right? This just kind of glides when you drink it.
And it's 14.5%. Revolution's Deepwood series, they're dangerous.
Yeah. And then it finishes with like those candy sugars, like almost a little bit, almost like a root beer candy, almost a little bit.
Okay.
But I tell you, man, the fucking when Greg Hall said this once, I was asking him what's his favorite right before he quit. I'm like, what's your favorite Bourbon County? He's like, oh, it's OG, because all this shit that they're doing to the OG and adding all these things to it, the OG. Is doing that on its own with just a barrel.
Right. The OG has to be good. Right. You can't make... what's that? Like, you can't put lipstick on a pig kind of thing? Like...
Oh, if you don't start with good beer...
Yeah, it's got to be good.
You're not going to have a good barrel aged beer.
Yeah.
If you didn't have like a good beer to begin
Right.
with, the most important beer in the lineup is the naked beer.
Totally. So that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in the world of adjunct stouts, man, like having a beer that kind of does adjunct stout things, but just showcases like the natural properties of beer in a barrel. I think there's something to be said about that. And you know, side note, I kind of talk shit about the Black is Beautiful release from them. Because I'm like, just give us that star and call it a day, right? But when you listen to them talk about it, they were like, man, we wanted to just make a clean, no frills fucking stout.
Right.
And just appreciate a stout for what it is.
Good, strong stout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So now that made sense to me, like months later when I'm drinking this, because it's like, that's the same approach, but with a barrel. It's like, let's not fuck around. Let's just maximize this canvas of this barrel with this beer and some rye. And fucking boom, and get in and out.
Nice.
So I kind of like that.
Yeah. So then the Blantons, we were talking about in the episode. If you didn't see our last episode, go check that out. But we're saying that you said Blantons is the only warehouse that's metal, so it makes for some very interesting flavors and notes.
Yeah, for sure. I think if you talk to the Buffalo Trace guys, they'll tell you that the metal warehouse compared to just brick and wood, the metal warehouse is going to change the way a whiskey ages and the way it tastes. Okay. Because over 4 seasons, it's going to interact with the wood a little bit differently. It's going to fluctuate more because it's metal versus wood. It's going to change. The temperature is going to change more, right? And that was the belief of Albert Bacon Blanton. That's a hell of a name. Yeah, who it's named after. And when he was running Buffalo Trace, and then when Elmer T. Lee, who picked up the master distiller role long after Albert Blanton had moved on, he said, hey, what can I do as a tribute to him? He's like, hey, well, let's just make single barrel expressions from that one warehouse that Albert built.
Okay.
Yeah, because
we gotta try some Blantons with this, right?
I think it's only right.
Okay.
You know, Bland's Gold is in Chicago for the first time ever.
Right, so this usually went to the Japanese market.
Yeah, I think at the time. So Buffalo Trace sold a few times, and at one point they sold to a Japanese company, a Japanese holdings company.
Okay.
And
Japanese love their whiskey.
I'm saying, and then like around like in the 1980s, when Elmer T. Lee was pitching this idea of investing more money into this distillery, he talked about this warehouse. So the Japanese guys were saying, hey, that sounds perfect for what we're trying to do, which is, sell American whiskey in Japan.
A little sack, too.
It's so pretty. It's like, what is that?
Cognac sack, right?
What is that, velvet?
Velour?
What is that? Yeah, so it's only right, man. I think Revolution, kicking off the deep woods with an Imperial Rye Stout in Blanton's barrels, calls for some goddamn Blanton's Gold, man.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, do the honors.
Is that what we're doing?
We got our little, because we're drinking a bourbon, we got our, Lagunitas, I don't know, mug.
What is that? It's like a jar.
Yeah, the jars. Yeah, I feel like that's what you drink. I know you got to have, a proper thing, but I feel like whiskey out of, a jug or a jar is, only appropriate.
All right, here we go, man.
Nice.
Well, yeah.
All right, that's good for me. Yeah, I'll take me a little lighter pour. Yeah. I have only had Blantons a number of times. I have a friend he loves it. He loves picking up. He even collects the horses when he doesn't drink them. He's like, if anyone finishes a bottle, let me know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's kinda...
This has the T on it.
Okay, because they're all lettered too, so you can kind of easily find them.
Yeah, I think they all spell Blantons, and then they're different stages of a race horse.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I tell you, the thing about Blantons that people like is that it's so approachable, it's so fruit forward, and it's just an easy drinking, reliable whiskey, right?
Ooh, that is nice. It doesn't burn your throat. It burns my lips a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's nice. It's you want to sip on it, I guess.
Yeah, I think it cleaned up. Same thing. I get some rye spice, but it's just kind of delicately on my tongue a little bit, and then a little bit on the lips, and in between is kind of these chocolates and these fruit cocktail vibes in between.
But
Yeah.
then going back to the Thunderstruck, I get more
Thundertaker.
Thunderstruck. Thunderstruck is a song. I get more of the that chocolate and the berry, and more of the sweetness that you get from those big stouts.
That beer's really good, man. I like that beer a lot.
Well, what's interesting too is the Blantons. I don't want to say burn, but feeling in the throat is still there
Yeah.
even after drinking the beer. It doesn't wash it away. It maybe enhances it or brings it, rejuvenates it.
Right. It just kind of picks. It's like a seesaw effect a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it helps it cool it, and then it's
Yeah.
hey, all right.
I tell you, man. Me and Shalana were drinking this, and I was the first thing I got was Whoppers, the candy Whoppers, when I smelled it, and then my second sip, I was like, you know what? This shit kind of tastes like VCS a little bit to me.
Okay.
But then I started thinking about. Do you remember Bedonia? I was saying this on the feed,
Yeah, you were talking to someone on IG about this.
and I was like, if it's
Bedonia, where?
Bedonia it was in the warehouse. It was the Bourbon County on the lower racks where some fungus grew. And the
That's right.
fungus kind of pulled out a lot of the alcohol flavor, and it just left all the chocolate and fudge notes.
This was one they didn't know what to do with, right?
Yeah.
Because they're
It's covered in this weird ass moss.
yeah, because I think they were gonna dump it.
Yeah, and then so Lafleur and my man, the brewmaster.
Tom Carter?
No. The crazy old guy.
Brett Porter?
Brett Porter.
Oh.
I love Brett Porter, so I affectionately refer to him as that. He's nuts, but he'll talk about fucking man, he'll talk about Distill for an hour and be like, Brett, I don't need to know all this shit about fucking Distill.
Okay.
But
I do remember hearing about that. That was the year, it was all in the old warehouse
yeah,
before they moved to the big one. And they were having so many problems in that warehouse.
yeah. So this would have been near Fulton and Wood. This would have been when it was all at Fulton and Wood before the current.
Right. They were
Sacramento
having
one.
issues where stuff was taking longer.
Yeah.
They were having to mix things, the fungus, stuff was leaking. There was just so many, I think, just troublesome things that
Yeah.
were happening there. So it's great that they were able to get a new place for all this. So
Yeah,
Begonia, how you say?
Bedonia.
Bedonia. Yeah. I remember it, but I don't remember what it tasted like.
It was so soft and so round and such a gourmet dessert thing, like flourless chocolate cake thing. It was that. It was everything you liked about BCS, but it was just elevated without any harshness, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think but BCS always had low drinkability, right? But so what I like about this is that this mouthfeel is fucking great, and then it's just it just kind of dances. I don't feel overwhelmed by this, although it's also a gourmet dessert type of thing. I don't feel the density of it. I think that's what I like about it. Mm-hmm. So
I don't know. That's fun. So if you couldn't have got it at Revolution, but if you can go, I don't know, this video will probably come out after it's already been sold out at Binny's, but Binny's will have them.
Binny's apparently, every Binny's in the state is apparently getting this. So
If you know, people can only buy 4-packs. No one should drink all 4 by themselves. No one should drink 1 by themselves. These are the Deepwood series. Share them with people. Share them with at least someone else, if it's your spouse or your best friend or someone else, or your neighbor. Come on, they are fun beers that are limited. Share them.
yeah, I think that's what I love most about their series. It's it kind of inspires me to want to connect with other people and pick up the one I haven't tried, or pick up the one, or drink the one that I haven't, that is out in my collection that they have.
Sure. Gotta collect them all.
And and then share this one, because it would be a crime for me to just drink that solo,
Right.
or for anyone really to just
You
drink
would
that
have a
solo.
good time, but yeah, you're that time I drank the whole Thundertaker.
Yeah,
I don't remember, but it was good.
Yeah, and then shout out to Rev for giving us a chance to kind of celebrate, really probably the most iconic whiskey bottle of all time.
Yeah.
Right. It's a different way for Blanton's fans to celebrate Blantons, and then it's a very purist kind of imperial stout with no funny business, no cute ass additives. Just kind of like a showcase of what a barrel's about.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
so cheers to them for those two things, man.
Yeah. And yeah, thanks for checking this out. We'll be check out the full episode. We dive into more about Blantons. And yeah, we'll be back with more beer reviews soon.